Hello, lovely. All right, let me make sure this thing is all set and working. Let's see, let's make sure it's going live. Because last week it went live just straight into the event, which was interesting. And then it wouldn't show up in the group, and that was rather annoying. So awesome, yay, it is live in the group. This is good. If you are watching, make sure you say hi so I know you're here, because Facebook never shows me who is watching. I just see a little eyeball up in the corner. So if you're here, say hi. I'm super excited for today, and it looks like you guys are too. So I'm gonna just get all adjusted here. So today we are talking about one of my absolute favorite topics, which is dealing with chronic aches and pains. So this one is near and dear to my heart. For those of you guys who don't know, I actually live with a genetic hypermobility disorder. Didn't get diagnosed until, December 2019. So I had it my entire life, had a lot of chronic pain, a lot of chronic fatigue from being in pain all the time, and never really knew what was wrong with me. I knew something was wrong, but, didn't get any answers until 2019. So today we're going to be talking about how you can actually leverage the healing powers of your body to start better dealing with chronic aches and pains. So this is a huge topic. So my biggest goal for today, this is one we can go in and we will talk more about, as we go, as we get to know each other. Feel free to let me know. You can either drop it in the comments if you're comfortable, or you can also just DM me if you want to talk more about what is specifically going on with you. But I would love to know a little more about what your chronic aches and pains are. If you know what's causing them, if there's a history that you want to share, that would just give me some more context so I can better share information both here in this live and then in the group as a whole. Or I can even, if you just message me, I can share that information with you directly, whatever I can do. Because that's, like I said, this is near and dear to my heart. I lived so long with chronic pain, and it really slowed my life down. I feel like I missed out on a lot because of it. And so this is one of my big missions in being a holistic health and fitness coach, is to really help people with this, because as we're going to get into, there is always a reason for these aches and pains, and ideally, you are able to figure out that reason and then fix it so that you don't have to continue being sidelined in your life, so that you can actually live life on your terms and to the fullest. So before we dig into this, I wanted to let you guys know March, I decided, is going to be movement month. Since many of you all shared in the poll that really one of the biggest things you're wanting to hear more about right now is the movement pillar. So I talk about the 4 pillars of a healthy life, because everything's connected and you really have to have all 4 pillars supported to be able to truly thrive and really get where you want to go with your health and fitness journey. And those pillars, just a quick recap, are movement, nourishment, energy, and stress resilience. So the pillar, though, that you all were most interested in hearing more about right now is movement. And I know that's a huge one, because so many people think, diet and exercise, those are the big game changers. So we're going to be talking all about movement this month, because I decided there is just so much I want to cover with movement. So we're just going to dig right into it this month. So I'll be doing a live training. Today is the first one, every Tuesday for the rest of this month, on a different topic. I will post in the group what those topics are. That way, if you have questions or anything specific you'd like me to address, you can drop it in the comments, and I will do my very best to share what is really most relevant for you. I'll also be sharing a lot of free resources. And at the end of the month, we're going to be doing a movement habit challenge to really help you kind of put everything that you're going to learn this month into practice. So let me know, drop a me in the comments or an emoji, whatever you want to do to let me know that you'd like an invite for that movement challenge once I get the sign up. So that is a quick recap of what you can anticipate this month. I'm super excited about this. So I know many of you, especially those of you who I tagged in this video because you were interested either in coming or want to watch the replay. I know many of you guys have struggled with chronic aches and pains, and I know many of you have like a variety of root causes. So if anything comes up along the way that you have a specific question about, please drop it in the comments and I will get back to you. So, like I said, today's a huge topic. So really my top goal for this video, because I don't want to make it super long, is to really shine a light on the fact that your body does have massive healing powers. And I'm going to share 4 strategies that will help you start really leveraging those healing powers. So before we dig in, there's a few things that I want to just cover to kind of set the stage for you. Things that you definitely need to know if you are wanting to really manage your aches and pains and the root causes. So I think I already touched on this. The big thing here is to understand that the aches and pains that you are experiencing, whatever the root cause, they are actually your body's way of communicating with you. They are not there just to annoy you and make your life miserable and keep you from doing all the things that you want to do. They are actually one of your body's ways of communicating that there is something wrong and your body would really like your help to fix it. So I just want you to know that because especially when you have lived with it for a long time, it can be very easy to have very negative, even toxic relationship with your body. I know I have been there, especially like feeling like my body just was broken practically from day one. There was a lot of negative emotions with my body, and I know many people experience this too, where you feel so frustrated that your body just will not cooperate. It will not seem to work. Nothing that you do seems to make it happy, and you're like, okay, you know what, you need to stop. You're getting in my way. Like, you just need to help me out. And so I want you to just know that your body wants to help you. It really, really does. So I'm hoping that some of what we talk about today gives you some hope for that, and it'll give you some strategies to start better reconnecting with your body, because you will never, ever fix these aches and pains. You will never fix the relationship with your body. You will never enjoy living in your body so long as you feel like you are fighting it. And I know that when you are dealing with this, you kind of get to that point where you're like, well, yeah, my body needs to stop fighting me. But unfortunately, here's the little tough love. It is a two-way street, as with all relationships. So you want your body to stop fighting you, and so you also need to stop fighting your body. And I know it can be hard to hear, because I know that you feel like you are doing everything you possibly can and just nothing's working. So if you're feeling that, drop me like a little me or a 1 in the comments just to let me know. You're not alone. It's totally normal. And I'm hoping today this information is going to help you. So just remember, you don't heal your body, you don't fix these aches and pains by trying to continue fighting your body, forcing your body to do what you think it needs to do, Desiree, I'm totally with you. Yeah, I've been there, I've done that, I understand. So remember, this is your body's way of communicating with you that there is something wrong, and your body would like you to be able to fix it. And your body will try to support you in fixing it as soon as you kind of release some of that frustration with your body and open yourself up to seeking to understand as opposed to fighting. So this is a battle. Kind of, you want to be fighting the root cause, not your body. Your body is not the root cause. So we want to find what that root cause is so that you can fight that battle, and you can do it with your body. Your body will be your teammate in this. It wants to help you. It wants to support you. Your body is truly here to carry you through life and to help you really enjoy life and do all the things that you want to do. And often the way we are raised, societal standards, all that stuff, there's a lot of conditioning and things that happen throughout the course of our lives that make us very disconnected from our bodies. So we're not able to hear it, to understand it, and to prevent these things from happening in the first place. And so then your body gets to this point where it has these aches and pains for whatever reason, and it then needs your help to really fix it. So I just want you to understand that we heal these by seeking to understand your body. I'm going to be looking at my notes too to make sure I just stay on task, because like I said, this is a big topic, and there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in it, I know, for you guys as well as for me. So we heal this by seeking to understand our body, by really trying to listen and understand it's trying to communicate with you, and it does want to help you fix this. So we want to start figuring out what your body needs so we can give it to your body, so you and your body can be on board together and really enjoy life. So the other thing to know is that your body is very, very smart, and it's kind of a communication breakdown because your body cannot speak to you in your language. Your body has to communicate to you through sensations, these aches and pains, or other sensations as well. And so we really have to practice understanding and listening and being open to kind of receiving these messages your body is trying to communicate so that you can heal. Before I launch into those 4 strategies, I just want you to know these 4 strategies are very high level. They're very broad in that it almost doesn't matter what the root cause is for you. At least some of these are going to work for you. That being said, depending on your root cause, there's probably other strategies within the other 3 pillars that will probably be very beneficial as well. Like for me, because it's a genetic hypermobility disorder, my body literally does not make the connective tissue the same way other people's bodies do. It's a slightly different configuration that's a little more stretchy than normal. And that affects many body systems outside of just bones and muscles and joints. So for me, actually managing the pain and managing the fatigue especially involves other lifestyle strategies outside of movement. Movement's like kind of the root, or it's the core help, the core strategy that really helps. But I also had to implement nourishment strategies. I had to implement lifestyle strategies that reduced my stress, and I had to implement strategies that really protect my energy. So depending on your root cause, you probably would benefit from nourishment support, energy support, stress management support, that sort of thing. So just keep that in mind, but let's dig into the 4 strategies for movement so you can really leverage your body's ability to heal, because it truly is, it's made to heal itself. It's kind of magical like that. So the very first one that I want you guys to know, number 1 is movement should always feel good. So this kind of comes back to we have to stop fighting your body, right? You can't force your body to do exercises that hurt it, because that's literally what's happening. Remember, your body communicates to you through sensation. So you don't want to force your body to do something that hurts when it's already telling you I'm hurting. So this is where we have to be so careful with the health and fitness industry, especially exercise culture as it is right now. The push harder, no pain, no gain, all of that stuff. If your body is already dealing with aches and pains, those philosophies, those strategies are going to make it worse long term, and it's going to prolong your suffering and really prolong the healing. So remember that movement should always, always, always feel good. And so you want to find those movements that feel good. And this is not just for enjoyable, because like you want it to be enjoyable so you'll actually do it, right? But especially when we're dealing with aches and pains, your body will let you know that the movement will actually heal you if it feels good. So I hope that one makes sense. So that's come back to understanding and really believing me when I say that your body is meant to heal itself. It has that capability, especially when you work with it. And the way you can work with it is by finding those movements that feel good. Now, There is a caveat to that because I know many people turn to stretching because stretching does feel good in the moment and can often relieve like muscle tightness and stuff. And that's actually going to be the fourth one that we talk about. So there's a balance to be struck, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. But yeah, movement should always feel good. Never force your body to do something that does not feel good. Number 2, you'll need to start moving more throughout the day. And I know that can kind of feel, I don't know, let me know how that feels for you, because it kind of depends on where you're at with your body. But the thing is your body is made to move, and your body is made to heal itself. So movement is going to beget healing. And the trick with this is being able to kind of undo some of what our current lifestyles do to us. We spend a lot of time sitting, a lot of time not moving. That means that's a lot of time spent in one position that can create even more pain, right? Maybe your aches and pains are literally just from sitting so much. And that's where getting up and moving can be very helpful. But it almost doesn't matter what the root cause is for you. Movement's generally going to help you feel better because it's going to get the blood flowing for you. It's going to allow your muscles to move in a low impact sort of way, where it's gentle movement that gets the blood flowing. It also gets the lymph flowing, which lymph is part of your immune system. It's part of the healing process. And your muscles are actually what move lymph throughout your body. So generally when you're dealing with aches and pains, pain in general, you're going to have inflammation. And inflammation gets removed through the lymph system, through your blood being able to pump through your body, through water being able to circulate through your body. That's going to remove all of the inflammation, and your lymph literally cannot pump itself through the body. There's no pump for your lymph the way your heart is a pump for your blood. Your lymph does not have a pump. The pump is actually the movement of your muscles. Like it literally, the contractions move the lymph for you. So you need more movement to stimulate the healing process that removes the inflammation, which is directly associated with the pain. So movement as much as possible is good. And again, movement that feels good as much as possible is going to work wonders for you. That's actually like that is in a nutshell, like how your body heals itself. Obviously, if there are, depending on the root cause, if you have a muscle imbalance, if sitting has been, creating a lot of pain for your neck or something, there's specific movements that we can use to really help reverse that posture and create a balance within the muscles. A lot of times it's a muscle imbalance. So there's deeper level strategies that we can use. We can start talking about that, but this is the high level movement that feels good, and movement as often as possible is going to be really magical and very helpful. So next thing, and this kind of builds on it, but I want to kind of bring this one to the forefront. Calming the nervous system is the third strategy that's going to be really, really helpful because, and I talk about this one kind of ad nauseum, I think, but we live very stressed lives, very, very stressed lives. And especially with exercise culture now pushing the high intensity exercise, what that does for someone already dealing with chronic pain and chronic fatigue too, and chronic stress, is it exacerbates it. It makes it worse. It really does. High intensity exercise has a time and place. But if you are dealing with chronic pain or chronic fatigue or chronic stress, that part of you at the least is still in survival mode. Maybe like the rest of you is thriving pretty well, but that part is still in survival mode. And so trying to use a high intensity exercise strategy is just going to make it worse. Because what that does is it triggers the nervous system. It triggers that fight or flight response, and it's not calming the nervous system. It's just taking a nervous system that is already kind of like at its limit with stress throughout the day and ramping it up even more. So you're literally never creating calm. This is one we see a lot if you have sleep issues that go along with chronic pain. So if that's you too, drop a little me or number 1 in the comments. These things all tend to go hand in hand, right? Everything is connected and your body has many ways of trying to communicate with you, and sleep is another one. So we really want to actually, and believe it or not, exercise can calm the nervous system. And that's those first 2 strategies, right? Movement that feels good, and then moving more often at kind of a lower level of impact. Those will actually act as a calming mechanism for your nervous system. So this is where like a nice walk in nature can be huge. Not only are you getting that gentle movement, especially a rhythmic movement that really helps pump the lymph through, but you're also getting, vitamin D from the sun. You're reconnecting with nature. It's beautiful, it's calming, and it works wonders as well. And so I hope you're kind of seeing how you can kind of build these strategies together too, to really kind of get all the birds with one stone to really maximize your body's healing ability. But yeah, we want to use movement and exercise, but I'm going to say movement because often when you're dealing with chronic pain, the concept of exercise just feels painful and kind of almost makes it worse. So we're going to call it movement, but we can use movement to really calm the nervous system, helps decrease that stress response, and stress is actually very closely linked with inflammation and pain, especially if you're a person who tends to hold a lot of or tends to manifest their stress physically. I know that's me for sure. I can always tell when like stress levels in my life are increasing because my chronic pain increases too. So that's the third strategy, is anything that you can do to calm the nervous system is going to be super helpful. And definitely understand that you can and should use movement to calm the nervous system. So again, if you want to talk specific strategies for you, drop me a comment or reach out to me in the DMs and we can talk more too. Finally, strategy number 4, the one I talked about coming back to stretching, right? We really want to balance stretching or flexibility with strength and endurance. So let me explain this one. And again, this one's going to kind of depend on what your root cause is. But I'm going to say in my experience, both with like myself and with clients and with the research that I've done, you really do need a balance, because continuing to just stretch, which I know stretching feels good, but often that does not fix the root problem. It's kind of just a Band-Aid that just gives you a temporary relief from the pain. So usually what's going on, and this, it doesn't matter, the root cause. Most people, because of our lifestyles where we sit a lot, most people have muscle imbalances that add even more to the pain. Even that, if that's not the root cause, it adds to the pain. And the muscle imbalance means you've got some tight muscles, you've got some like loose muscles or overly weak muscles. And we need to balance that to really manage the pain. And so we want to balance strength and endurance with flexibility. I hope that makes sense. So I'm trying to think the best way I can like share how you can put this into action for you right now. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Laura, yes, we know you have a muscle imbalance. We're working on that. We're building you up, right? We're kind of getting those first 3 in place for you right now, right? Before we add in this 4th one of kind of balancing the strength, endurance, and flexibility. So I'm going to use me for an example. Because this is one I run into a lot with people who it's for fibromyalgia as well as hypermobility disorders, because they're kind of similar. People want to use stretching, just like those nice long holds where you're just feeling that muscle lengthen and release. It triggers a lot of good responses that temporarily heal or temporarily ease the pain. But what happens there is, especially if you're stretching a muscle that is already weak and already kind of overly loose, Hi, sweetie. You got a little munchkin here. You're kind of exacerbating the problem, actually. So for me, for example, people with hypermobility, they have very stretchy connective tissue. So we're the ones that can turn ourselves into pretzels when we're doing yoga. We can do all those stretches and kind of like, get our hands all the way down to the floor when we're touching our toes, get our head all the way down to our knees when we're stretching our hamstrings, that sort of thing. We're the ones that everyone rolls their eyes at with disgust because they are not that flexible. But the problem is the flexibility is the problem, right? And so trying to solve it with more stretching is actually going to make it worse. For people with hypermobility, we need to strengthen those muscles so they actually have the tone that is needed in order to hold muscles in place. And awesome. Yeah, Desiree, I know people often find themselves like on polar ends of the spectrum. I'm going to get to that too in just a sec. So for people like me with hypermobility who are very stretchy, it's actually more important to make sure that we are spending some time on gentle strengthening and building the endurance. Because like for me, my muscles, not only they don't have the tone to really hold everything in place, they definitely don't have the endurance to hold everything in place all day, which is like you have to be up and about all day. Even if you're sitting, like your core and your spine muscles still need to hold you up. So those muscles need to have the ability to maintain your alignment all day. So it's really important to do that. So that is where we can kind of have an issue when I'm saying do movement that feels good, because people will be like, oh, but stretching feels good. I'm like, oh, well, it does, but we need to find this other movement that feels good, which is the strength and the endurance work, which it can. And that's where I would encourage you to just either talk with me or talk to a physical therapist or someone who can actually coach you on the correct movements and how to implement it. So you're not really doing a traditional workout. It's very different. Now, yes, Desiree, for people like you who feel like they're the opposite, where everything feels really stiff and tight. So an interesting thing can happen here where your muscles can be very stiff, but they're still weak. So it's like, so your muscles have kind of an ideal length that they want to be in. So they can be kind of shorter than they need to be, but still not very strong. And so that is where the pain response continues to get triggered. And so there's a really cool thing. I'm going to really try not to get too like nerdy and sciencey on you guys because it's not necessary for you to know. But so your muscles do this really cool thing where when you contract a muscle, it actually makes another muscle relax. And so when you have very tight muscles, you can actually contract other muscles to get them to relax. So you're actually using a strength movement, a movement that builds up that strength to actually relax your muscles. And I know it's super counterintuitive, but what's great about it is it actually gets to the root of the problem as opposed to just trying to stretch, like to do that passive stretch that ultimately will lengthen your muscle, but it won't actually fix the weakness problem. I hope that makes sense. So most people, even though regardless of what end of the spectrum they're on, whether they're extra flexible or extra stiff, most people still share the weakness where their muscles are not holding them in the position they need to be, and they don't have the strength and endurance that they need. And so that's where we want to very intentionally use strength exercises, strength movement, movements that help build the strength and endurance so that you can fix the weakness, which is often the root problem, while bringing balance to whichever end of the spectrum you're on, whether it's hyperflexibility or hypoflexibility. So I hope that makes sense. We want to find that balance so that we're really fixing the weakness problem. And so that is where we want to make sure we've got a balance. And the balance may be different for each person, but a balance between strength and endurance and flexibility. So I hope that makes sense. So the main reason I wanted to share that is because so many people tell me that they think that the only thing that they need are stretches to fix it. And they feel that because stretching often gives you that immediate relief. But I'm going to tell you guys, and I should have told you this from the beginning, for those of you who don't know, I am actually a corrective exercise specialist. I have a master's in exercise science and health promotion. So I'm not telling you this just from like, this is my experience, or this is like the research that I've done on my own, which is always valuable for sure. But like, this is literally what I have learned over the last 10 years of being in this field of study, this field of research, and this field of working with people. So I know many people say that they want to do the stretches, that they think that is the only thing that they need. And I'm here to tell you that it's just a Band-Aid. We want to make sure that we are balancing it. Hi, Tony. Thanks for joining. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some things to think about. With strength and endurance, I know that one can be, there can be a lot of fear tied up with that, because I'm sure many of you have tried to exercise and of course experienced that increase in pain. I know that was me too. I will be sharing more throughout this month with resources and whatnot that will help you start implementing some strength exercises if you choose to, with some strategies that are a little different from what the kind of standard health and fitness industry people tend to share. So we're not just doing like, oh, you're going to go do this exercise and do 10 reps of it with this weight. Like that's not the strategy. So if you want to talk some strategy about that, feel free to reach out to me and we can kind of discuss where you're at, what the root cause might be, what strategies might be good for you. And if you need that support, I can invite you to work with me if it's a good fit. So I hope that these strategies help you though. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to quickly recap them. I'd love to hear which one of these four, you can drop a number 1 through 4, which strategy you feel might be most beneficial to you right now. Because again, you are your best expert of your body. You're the one living in your body. And so we want to be reconnecting you with your body and helping you really reconnect with your intuition with your body, because often you will have a sense that there is something, one of these really stands out to you the most. So I'm curious which one really stands out to you the most. So quickly to recap, the first strategy is just doing movement that feels good. Never do a movement that does not feel good. Just stick with what feels good. Strategy number 2 is moving more often, especially that rhythmic movement, like going for walks. There's lots of options on that too. Swimming is great. Any rhythmic movement that you can do, or simply just getting up to move more often. Number 3 is using movement to calm your nervous system so that we can kind of bring you down out of fight or flight mode, and bring some calm and relaxation and some space for your body to start healing. And strategy number 4 is finding the balance that is right for you between strength, endurance, and flexibility. So let me know in the comments which one of those really speaks to you the most, like which feels like the one that you would want to focus on the most right now. So that is it for today. So you guys know, if you do need help with this is what we do inside the Accountability and Consistency Club. Laura, yes, you are in there with me already. So we're already working on that. And yeah, we're getting ready we'll be starting you on number 4. So we're kind of, in a sense, already working on moving more throughout the day. You're already doing that really, really well, in fact. And Desiree, number 4, absolutely. So let me know if anything that I shared today, if you have any questions to follow up on that, on what might work best for you. So I'm happy to help. But yeah, so this is what we do inside the Accountability and Consistency Club. The doors are open for March enrollment right now. They will only be open through the 6th. So yeah, no worries, Tony. Yeah, that's all right. Definitely catch the replay. Let me know what you think. So the doors are open through the 6th of March. And yeah, this is what we do in there. It's one of the many things that we do. We cover pretty much anything that you are needing in terms of getting to the root of whatever problem is bugging you the most and creating a strategy that's actually going to work for you. This is not a space where I share just what worked for me, because like I said, yes, I have my own experience. I have my health and fitness journey that I have been on, but because of that, this is what I decided to do as a profession. Like, this is what I have my master's degree in. I'm a corrective exercise specialist. So I have put an extensive amount of study into learning the strategies that work for other people, not just repeating the strategy that I used for myself. That's actually one of my superpowers, is being able to talk with a person and especially watch their body. In regards to today, I can watch a person move their body and really just know, like, what is the problem? What muscle imbalances are happening? What is your body needing? I really serve as a conduit, in a sense, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but I can really be that bridge between you and your body to help you actually learn to listen to your body and help translate for your body so that we can get you and your body working together better, faster, without all the headaches and the frustration. So, Laura and Tony, you guys are amazing. I'm so glad you love being here. Thank you. Yes, come join us. It's a beautiful space. It's small, it's intimate. I've only got it open right now. I only have 10 spots, I had 10 spots. Now there are 7 spots available because I want to make sure that everyone's getting all of the high touch support that they need. And I will probably end up splitting it into small groups to make sure everyone continues to get the support that they need. So it's a very supportive space. Like, everyone in there is wonderful and amazing and supportive. And I just love being able to help people actually learn to reconnect with their bodies and get to the root of their problem and find the strategy that actually works for them, as opposed to like another cookie cutter strategy. Oh, this worked for me, so you have to try it. Like, no, we're going to find what actually works for you in this space. So if you're interested, I will drop the link so that you can go and check out the information on the Accountability and Consistency Club. And if you have questions, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help you see and decide if it's a good fit. I'm not about trying to just get all the people in. I want to make sure that we're actually going to work for you. So if you need help, not only figuring out if the ACC is right for you, but just figuring out what your next step should be, please reach out, because that is what I'm here for. Like I said, my biggest mission is to make sure that people can actually feel good in their bodies and live life on their terms and really thrive. And I think that learning to listen to your body is a really powerful step along the way to do that. So that's all I'm going to say on that for right now. I'll drop the link here in a minute. Please reach out if you have questions. And also, if you just have something that relates to what I shared today on these 4 strategies for finally dealing with your chronic aches and pains, please drop a comment or send me a message so we can follow up and make sure that you can really put this into practice for you. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day. And yeah, it's Tuesday, so go have a beautiful week. Bye, guys.